Now, thanks for joining us on this webinar today. I'm Mark Windrum, the State Manager for the West Coast and Central Australia here at the FBAA. Now, this morning we're joined by co-founder of Send, Ian Cragg, for an informative webinar that will cover off key topics on the benefits that his company can bring to both you and your clients. Also, how Send can manage the risk of an SME dealing with overseas suppliers and customers, the savings they can achieve for your clients against the banks by providing more competitive exchange rates and by cutting out bank fees, providing faster cross-border payment channels, and by how recommending them you can really increase your revenue stream. There'll also be an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the session. Now, shortly I'll pass over to Ian. However, just to let you know, should you wish to ask any questions during the presentation, please provide these in the chat box on your control panel for the webinar. We'll then go through those at the end. Please also note that the recording will be going onto our FBAA YouTube channel following this, and you'll receive the link in the follow-up email that you sent with your CPD code. Now, I'll pass you over to Ian to commence his presentation. Over to you, mate. He is here. I did see him about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Sorry, mate. I'm here, mate. I was trying to get my video to start. Apologies. Okay. I think we're good to go.
There we go.
There you go. The wonders of modern day technology.
Over to you, mate.
Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Everybody, thank you very much for joining today. I appreciate it's a Monday. Going to give you a bit of an insight really into our company, Send, as Mark just introduced us then. The benefits of using us over a bank, and how you guys can really save your clients money and at the same time increase your own revenue streams as well. So hopefully you've all got a bit of an interest in kind of foreign exchange or have clients import export, which is the reason why you're here today, unless you're just trying to clock up on the CBD points. But either way, hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll have a good insight into our business offering and how we can potentially help you and help your clients. So with further ado, I'm just going to attempt to share my screen with you a second. Give me 2 secs. And as Mark said, anytime throughout the course of this upskilling session, please do by all means enter any questions into the chat box, and we can go through those there at the end. Also included in the chat box today, I have dropped in there a copy of this presentation, which you can download. It's a PDF. It has everything in there that we're going to cover off today. Also my contact details at the end of it as well, should you wish to reach out and speak to me directly. And additionally, it has a link to our kind of partner onboarding pack as well, should you wish to become a partner of Send. So, Send and the FBAA, save your clients, your SME clients money when importing and exporting. So who are Send? So we are a non-bank Australian-based international payments and foreign exchange specialists. We've actually been working now with the FBA closely for a couple of years. Some of you may be familiar with us already. Some of you may refer clients to us already. But it's a strategic partnership that's really kind of done really well so far, with both kind of brokers and their clients seeing the benefits of working with us as an alternative to the banks. We have strategic partnerships in place across the financial services industry with both commercial and residential brokers. So although this is primarily about kind of commercial brokers and how we can help SMEs with import-export, we also deal with residential brokers as well. So there's an opportunity there perhaps to discuss that further again, probably on another upskilling session, I expect, because I do realize that many brokers who might be on this call do kind of cross over between both residential and commercial. So as previously just said a moment ago, we assist our broker network, of which we've got kind of several hundred brokers around Australia and overseas, in providing their clients with FX products and services as a cost-saving alternative to the banks, which enables brokers to generate new revenue streams as well. So what are the benefits in becoming a partner and recommending Send to your clients? Well, there's quite a few actually. First and foremost, you are enhancing your product offering. Okay, so you're giving your clients more of a variation of products that you can offer them. Ultimately, you're saving them money. You can also increase your revenue stream. Send provide marketing and product support, and this can be a case of PDF flyers, whichever you want, content for your website. We can provide all this information as well. We can even put iframes into your website as well, where clients can kind of get a free quote through your website. Client retention. You're not driving your clients to the bank or recommend them to use a bank instead of using a foreign exchange company like us. So if you did have a client that was looking to ask you some questions about currency exchange, or what's the best way to transfer funds across to Europe to bring in some tiles, for example, or to China to bring in some machinery, instead of recommending a client to your bank, you're then opening yourselves up to potentially losing that client to the bank for their loans. So retain this client in your kind of ecosystem is very, very valuable. And first and foremost, at the end, as I say, the main reason why you're here today is to upskill yourself. Perhaps giving yourself another kind of bow in your hat in terms of what you can do and what you can offer your clients, and increasing your knowledge in this space. Because foreign exchange, although you might not think of it on a day-to-day basis, is generally somebody that touches everybody a lot of the time, at least once or twice throughout the course of the year. Be that going on holiday, or be that having a client that may need our services for either importing, exporting, or perhaps buying a property overseas, etc. And when you consider 1 in 4 people in Australia was born overseas, there's a huge, huge demand, which is still mainly taken up by the banks, who still control about 80% of the market in terms of foreign exchange services for their clients. So that's the benefits of a broker using our services. So what's the benefits to your clients in using our services? Again, competitive exchange rates. Okay, so we can typically better the exchange rates for SMEs by around about kind of 2 to 3%, which on a 100 grand transaction is quite a lot of money. There's no fees with us either. Now, if any of you have either transferred funds internationally yourselves for any reasons, be it sending money to family or perhaps moving from country to country, you'll know that banks generally slap you with a fee for each transaction as well, of about anything up to $50. Okay, and what that fee's for, I don't really know, to be honest with you. But obviously, if your clients are making regular transactions, then these fees can add up over the course of a year. So another cost-saving option for us there. Forward contracts, extremely valuable for businesses who are importing over the course of a year to mitigate that FX volatility and risk. So over the course of a year, obviously, well, let's look back. I'll tell you what, let's look back over to COVID over the last kind of 18 months. The Aussie dollar against the US dollar has moved about 30%. Okay, so for a business, that's huge. And that can be a huge risk to the business. If they don't protect themselves, what we can offer as a forward contract. We can lock that rate in for up to 12 months. Okay, so it can be a really kind of effective tool, which many of the banks don't really offer their clients. As you'll know, if you walk into a bank to transfer funds overseas and you go and see the bank teller, they have more KPIs around kind of credit cards and home loans and transactional accounts as opposed to foreign exchange. They don't really push forward contracts at all. So we have a large number of our SME clients who do take advantage of that forward contract option, which is really valuable for them. We can more often than not get transactions from A to B in the same day, depending on when we get funds into the business from the clients. So what does that mean? Well, as you'll know, the quicker the supplier gets their funds, the quicker the stock gets on the water. Our team based here in Southeast Queensland and more recently in Sydney, we've got they're all RG146 qualified in foreign exchange. Okay, so again, as opposed to the bank teller who's kind of geared up with those kind of KPIs around home loans, etc., and credit cards, this is all we specialize in. It's all we know. Well, not we know a bit more than that as well, but it's what we specialize in, our guys do, and they're all here to help your clients over the phone or online. Okay, so it's not kind of getting pushed from pillar to post, bringing up automated phone lines. Your clients, when introduced to Send, will have their own personal account manager to build that relationship up, to build up that rapport. Okay, and they can have direct access to them via both telephone and email. We provide free weekly market updates to all of our clients as well. Okay, so this gives you an update each week on the state of the Aussie dollar against the euro, the US dollar, the Kiwi dollar, and the pound. Okay, so 4 of the major currencies or trading currencies for Australia. And just a brief insight really in terms of what might be coming out in the market that could potentially affect the Australian dollar over the coming week. We can also provide free currency audits. Now, this is something which a lot of SMEs take us up on. And a lot of their brokers do too. So if you've got a client that's done a previous transaction with their bank, let's say they went to the bank and they transferred across, say, $50,000 US to a supplier in China, well, then they can send us through a copy of that statement. And off the back of that there, we can have a look at what rate they got on the day, and we can look at how much we could have saved them on that day. Okay, so it takes us about 5 minutes to do. We can do an historical rate check, look back at it, We can send your client back the email. Look, on this day, we could actually save you $800 on this transaction or $2,000 on this transaction. And when they look at that in black and white, it's quite compelling, particularly over the course of the year. If they're importing a container full of stock each year and we're saving them a couple of grand, then they say it can add up quite significantly. And your clients have access not only just to our account managers, they also have access to a 24/7 multi-currency payments platform. Okay, so this is kind of a market-leading platform that we've built from the ground up. And it basically allows clients to transfer or enter beneficiary details to where they want the money going to the overseas supplier. They can see live rates on screen as well, and they can lock that rate in 24/7 without the need of having to go and visit a bank. They can do it from their home, they can do it from their front room, or they can do it from their office or online. Excuse me a second. So as you can see, plenty of benefits already, both for the broker and for the end user. So scenarios in which we currently assist SMEs, primarily importing, exporting, which kind of rolls into manufacturing as well. So importing obviously is sending money to overseas suppliers. Exporting is potentially receiving funds in from an overseas customer. So many Australians also export as well, building products, machinery, fruit, veg, whatever it may be, and exporting that overseas to foreign buyers. E-commerce as well, obviously booming market, booming industry at the moment. Clients selling goods through kind of Alibaba, Amazon, that massive marketplace out there as well. We can help with that there. R&D grants, seeing a lot of interest in this space as well, coming through to us with referrals through, mainly from accountants. And outsourcing too. Obviously outsourcing here in Australia is a massive industry, primarily across to the Philippines. We do a lot of that, but also to countries like India as well. So if you have any clients in your client portfolio or your client database that fall into any of these categories, okay, we've assisted them over the years, or they've come to you for a commercial loan over the years for any of these reasons, okay, these are all clients that we could assist from day one. So in terms of the savings that we can achieve for your clients, so these are some savings here which we put together on Friday, where we compared ourselves against CBA on these rates. Let's make the screen a bit bigger, so you can see that overall picture. So if you had a client that was looking to, let's say, purchase some stock from the USA, and let's say they're importing some clothing for $25,000 US, okay, the cost to when using the bank would be almost $36,000. Where the cost when using Send is just over $34,000. So there's a saving of about $1,500 on just a $25,000 US invoice. Okay, so pretty sizable. But then let's ramp things up a little bit. Look at a $100,000 US invoice. Let's say you've got a client that's importing some fabrics from China in a big container, or some furniture from China. We do a lot of furniture imports, bedding, sofas, etc. And the client has to pay a US invoice of $100,000. We could potentially save them about $5 grand on that transaction. Okay, so that's a substantial amount of money, and they could buy more stock with that there, for example. Okay, they could put that towards the cost of an employee's salary for a month. So yeah, it's a massive, and you can see that at the bottom, and these rates were true to being pulled from CBA on the 18th of this month. Would it cost the client $143,539 with their bank, and it would have cost the client with Send $137,988. Okay, and those savings go up the larger the transaction, typically against the big four. Okay, so it's not uncommon for us to assist clients of $500,000 transactions or $1 million transactions, where these savings can be in the kind of 5 figures. So over the course of a year, it really can be substantial. It can pay for another employee, for example. It can import another containers worth of ship stocking. So yeah, so it's pretty black and white there, really, in terms of what we can do, and it's kind of scandalous, really, in terms of what the banks make from both individuals and SMEs when transferring funds around the world. So the flow of the funds and the customer journey, so pretty straightforward, really, how it all works. So the client would need to be introduced to us, obviously, for us to assist them. And that can be anything as simple as just sending an email through to us, introducing us to the client. Or as I said, we can put kind of iframes on your website if you wanted to, or just give me a call, have a chat. There's many ways really. What we do recommend though is that you do ideally introduce the client to myself direct or to our partnerships team via email, just so we know the source of the referrals come from you, so that we can pay you the revenue off the back of that. I'll go into that a bit more further down the line, a few more slides down. So once the clients, let's say the clients obtain their funding from yourselves, they've got their money, they transfer it across to Send. We do the exchange for the clients. We transfer those funds across to the overseas supplier. They could be in France, New Zealand, Japan, wherever that may be. Supplier receives the money and then gets the product on the water, so to speak, and then it comes back to the client. Okay, so it's as simple as that. And as you're probably aware, freight costs are through the roof, shipping costs are through the roof at the moment. Okay, since COVID, since the Suez Canal backlog. So any savings which the client can make here through you guys, I'm sure they'll be very beneficial from it, or benefit very much from it. So the products that we have for our partners, so we have a vast network of referring partners, and these include companies such as kind of Flight Centre. We work with Woolworths with their credit union, and we get referrals through from some big name companies such as kind of PwC. This can be in the form of many different shapes and services, really, shapes and sizes, should I say. So referrals, again, as I mentioned a moment ago, that can just be a simple introduction via email to me and the client, so to speak. For larger partners, larger institutions, we can put together kind of white labels and payments APIs. That means that basically we can, we've done something similar actually for the Travel Money Group, which are part of Flight Centre. We put a white label together for them, and we're building out our APIs at the moment, which will be ready to integrate into a large number of financial institutions' ecosystems, which basically enables us to run off the KYC that the introducing financial institution has done for the client. So it's a kind of a seamless process. So it's basically the company in the background doing all the work, well, looking at their brand, and it's Send in the background, just say doing all the work. And then future states, again, across the SME space, we're looking to build out a business portal, which would include integrations into Xero, allow split payments and batch payments as well. Building out our multi-currency wallets, which will enable clients to hold currencies in different wallets with us as well. So multi-currency accounts, should I say. And cards as well. So we're looking to introduce a travel card. Obviously, there's not been much need for that over the last 18 months. So we kind of mothballed that project until next year, but we're doing corporate cards as well as domestic cards for clients. So yeah, we've got a lot on in terms of our future product roadmap. So back in 2020, and some of you might have actually taken part in this survey. If you can cast your mind back, it was about 12 months ago. We did a survey and we had a great response for about 400 or so members in total who answered some questions across it. Some didn't answer all of them. On this one here, I think it's 244 people answered who are FBA members. And it's a case of, do you have any business clients or know of any SME clients that import export? So 6 out of 10 did. So which is kind of what we were kind of expecting, really, which was good. And off the back of that question there, we asked, did you know that your clients can lose up to 5% of their money when transferring it with a bank in their exchange rate conversion and also incur large fees? So again, 6 out of 10 people did, but there's a lot of brokers out there that weren't aware of this. They weren't aware that A, there's an alternative to the banks, and B, that the banks charge such huge rates or such huge margins on their FX rates for their clients. Okay, so huge opportunity there for us to assist with the brokers. I guess my question is to the brokers that are assisting or are working at the moment with clients who are importing, exporting, where are they being referred to? Are they being referred to, are you referring them to another FX partner, or are you referring them to the bank? Hopefully, off the back of this upskilling session, it'll be a case of that you're referring them to Send to assist, all being well. And we can also, yeah, take the client, on board the client, and guide them through the processes to navigate any kind of risk and volatility in the markets. So commission opportunities, probably one of the main reasons why you tuned in today. We do pay commission to our introducing partners. or in this case, our introducing brokers from the FBAA. This is uncapped commission. So simple numbers game, really. The more you refer, the more you can earn. Okay, so for an SME currently with us would transfer funds on average about 10 times a year. Okay, so this can be anything from a few $1,000 transactions up into the millions. And every single transaction that's introduced to us that's successful, from that introducing broker will receive a commission from us. Okay, and this can vary from $10, $20, $30 for a small transaction up into the thousands for larger transactions. Okay, so it can really be anywhere in between that there. But it's not typical on a $100,000 transaction that client's doing for the introducing broker to walk away with a few $100s in payment. So it's increasing your revenue stream as well. Okay, which from my experience with brokers is something which they're always interested in, is increasing a new revenue stream as such and increasing your commissions. So we're here to help you do that. So how do you become a partner of Send today? Simply by joining here. This link will be available in the presentation pack. It's a simple link which you can click on via this PDF, which takes you through our Send onboarding pack. It takes about 4 minutes, as you can see, and lots of different questions. There's about, I think, about 15 questions in here, which just gives you a bit of an idea in terms of just so we can find a bit more about you and your business and the opportunities around you, how many clients we can potentially assist, who they might be, etc., what marketing tools and products we can give you to support you, and take things from there. But it takes about 4 minutes to do. Yeah, so as you can see from here. Okay, so not expecting to send multiple per day. I'd imagine most brokers that we deal with, work with, is kind of ad hoc. And you can look in here, what's the biggest opportunity for your business? You want to increase your customer share wallet, reduce the costs. Okay, so I'll let you guys figure that one out yourselves. It's all pretty straightforward to use. It takes kind of no time at all, really. And at the back on the final slide here has my direct contact details. So yeah, so you can email me any questions you may have off the back of this webinar. I appreciate it's kind of like lunchtime moments and you want to head off and get lunch straight away. You can give me a call on my mobile. If I don't answer it, please do leave a message and I will ensure I do get back to you personally. Or likewise, you can send me an email here, or we can potentially ask any kind of questions in the short term off the back of this upskill session. Yeah, that's about it from me. Hopefully that explained the benefits to you, both in using Send not only for the benefit of yourselves, but also for the benefit of your clients. Okay, and giving them a bit of an educational piece in terms of what it is that we do, how we can save them money, mitigate that risk that's involved when dealing with overseas suppliers, because there is a lot of risk. And I mentioned making them aware of tools that we can use, like the forward contract, which can save clients. We've had clients before that didn't put forward contracts in place, and all of a sudden, what has cost them 50,000 Aussie dollars one month was costing them $54,000 the next month because they didn't take the option of that forward contract. So yeah, but that's all stuff that our account managers can deal with. That. I don't expect you guys to become experts in this space, but hopefully this has given you a bit of an upskill and a bit of a lift in your knowledge in the foreign exchange area, which I'd imagine will touch a number of your clients on a daily, if not weekly basis. Thank you very much today. Appreciate your time.
Thanks very much, Ian. And now this presentation is actually in our chat box at the moment. So if anyone wants to download that and then review at a later date, they can. So as I said, that's in the chat box. It will be going up on our YouTube channel as well. So have a look on YouTube, just search FBAA YouTube and then just click the subscribe button. You'll get all the updates of when we upload things to our YouTube channel. But look, there hasn't been anything that's come through on the Q&A there, mate. So I'll let you go. But look, really educational. I think those graphs showing, how much money you can save if you're doing anything, even ad hoc, as you said, the savings are there, and obviously the more regularity, the savings obviously will add up over a course of time as well. So nice, simple way. I'm a simple man, and if I can understand it, I'm sure a lot of other people can as well. So thank you so much, Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Mark, someone just sent a message in the chat box, and they can't see the presentation.
Okay, hang on. It's just gone to host the panelists. Okay, Cool. Just let me.
Sorry, mate, it was my fault. Do you want to drop back in there?
Yeah, drop it in there. Just change.
Everyone. Okay.
Everyone. Yeah, that's the one.
Sorry, everybody. Just going to drop it in there now. As I mentioned a moment ago at the start of this here, this service isn't just exclusive for commercial brokers. We also assist with residential as well. So if you've got expat clients who are looking for a mortgage or an expat mortgage, clients of yours that are transferring funds around the world for reasons such as inheritance transfers, pension transfers. These are all common scenarios that we assist with on an individual basis as well. Sending money to the family, whatever that may be. These are all areas too we can assist private clients to, as opposed to just businesses.
Well, it's the full spectrum, really.
It's a full spectrum, absolutely correct, absolutely correct.
It's from, if I want to send some money overseas, a couple of $1,000 or something like that, to, as you said, those overseas suppliers with certainly a lot more money than that as well, and the savings are there across that spectrum, mate.
Yeah, and the speed as well, Mark. As I mentioned on the speed as well. I mean, when using a bank, it can still take up a week sometimes for banks to get the money across to the overseas supplier. So that really holds up the supply chain from a client's perspective. And if that supplier will not let that stock get on the water until they get their money. Okay, so by using us, it also is not just obviously the rates and savings are one thing, but the speed is of the essence for businesses who need that. And as I mentioned earlier on, the freight and supply chain costs have gone through the roof recently in Australia. So any savings that we can help, then we're here to do.
And on obviously obscure currency as well. I mean, we chatted about a year ago. I didn't actually end up sending any money, but the Hungarian forint.
The Hungarian forint. Huff.
Oh, look. Well, the Huff. That's
the
it.
Huff. Yeah, so we can assist with the Huff. So we can actually send funds from Australia to about 180 countries around the world. Obviously, you'll be aware there's certain countries where we can't send funds to. You pretty have to guess where they are. But we have access at the moment, and we're expanding this as well. So at the moment, we can access currencies, about 35 currencies. So look, all the obvious major ones are there: US dollar, British pound, New Zealand dollar, euro, Japanese yen, etc. But yeah, we also see a lot of demand from SMEs for clients who are importing across the Asia Pacific. Indonesian rupiah, Malaysian ringgit, Filipino peso, Thai baht, for example, particularly when clients are importing kind of, say, furniture, clothing, materials, etc., from these countries where it is very kind of cost effective and cheap to make. Yeah, we can do transactions to these destinations as well, paying those invoices, but many of them also pay in US dollars as well. But yeah, we can definitely do that as well.
Cool, lovely. Look, I've just got someone that says the presentation won't save. It has saved on my computer, but look, if you do note Ian's email address.
Yeah, it's a good shout, Mark. Yeah, please do send me an email, ian@sendpayments.com. You can see it there at the bottom, and I can send you an email back with the presentation with my personal details as well. So please do make a note of that there, and feel free to flick me through an email, be it today, tomorrow, whenever that may be, and we can go from there. And also, as I mentioned, if you want to have a call with me to discuss any potential clients, then I'm more than happy to do so with you as well.
Awesome, that's great. Look, thank you so much for your time today, Ian. I hope everyone found this nice and informative when it comes to these, very necessary needs. The country's opening up, and hopefully a lot of business can be found from these extra places. So, look, thanks very much, Ian.
My pleasure, Mark. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate your time, and yeah, feel free to reach out as and when. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, that does bring us to the end. So, look, I hope everyone found that very useful. But for now, we will leave it there, and hope to see you next time. Thanks, guys.